All right, guys. So today we are going to be talking about Google search updates. Now, you really want to pay attention to these two concepts because it's the difference between really crappy content ranking on the first page of Google and really great content basically being buried on the 100th page of Google. If you understand these two concepts that I'm going to talk to you about, you can literally rank for pretty much anything, and you have to apply these concepts, okay? So concept number one is you read Google search updates to understand where the puck is swinging so that you can get the early movers advantage. That's the reason why you hire an SEO team, is to get you the early movers advantage. Lots of people are not doing this, and this is why their content, great content, is being buried, okay? Because they're not understanding the Google search updates well enough to provide actionable insights. And number two, you want to not be seen as Google's arch nemesis. So that means that you need to prioritize Google's rules. You need to play by Google's rules in order for them to see you as an ally. And whenever you have a website, you want to be seen as Google's ally. So you need to understand what they are prioritizing so that A, you can get the early movers advantage, and B, you cannot be deprioritized. Okay. So that's the reason why you look at Google search updates. Now, a lot of people want to say, hey, I've tested my SEO team. I've asked them, what was the last Google search update that you read upon? Well, this is actually a very basic question because I mean, anybody can recite something back to you if they read it. But you need to understand that your SEO team should be able to drive an actionable strategy in order for you to implement what they're seeing in Google search updates. They need to understand why this update is happening, where Google is going with this update, and how they will prioritize your content to maximize for this update so that you can get the early movers advantage. All right, so now that you understand why you need to pay attention to Google search updates, go. And as I go through the documentation, I really see that Google is prioritizing structured data. As you can see that structured data is mentioned over 21 times and there's only 12 months. The reason for that is because Google is moving towards their SGE experience, basically their search generative experience that's mixing generative AI and search, their search option. Okay. And the reason why this is so important is because Google wants to systematically create the types of information that's easily accessible to their bots so that way they can better crawl and better give the end user, the reader, a better overall generative experience. And what structured data does in that equation is it helps the bot easily understand what the page is about. So I correlate it to a PB&J sandwich. When you have raw code and you just have peanut butter, you don't have jelly. So you're missing that jelly aspect. Structured data gives you the jelly aspect and it gives the bot an easier time to crawl through your pages. If you don't have enough structured data, you're not optimizing for visibility. That's just point blank and period. And then also in March of 2024 this year, Google has said that they are going to change their Core Web Vitals, which directly ties into code. If you want to know more about that, please like and subscribe. I have a couple of videos that I'll be launching about that, and I currently have one right now. But you want to understand that Core Web Vitals simply focuses on Google making the web more accessible to many people. So it strictly deals with the code of the page, optimizing for JavaScript, etc. So what you want to focus on when it comes to structured data is making sure that this is a part of all of your SEO and tactical strategies, okay? Not just from a plugin standpoint, because you have to look at plugins in this manner. Plugins are just glorified checklists. They help you, yes, but they don't give you that early movers advantage. And that's the reason why you hire your SEO team. So, number one, Google is focusing on structured data as a priority. And if we just bundle up into 2024, you can see that they're still emphasizing structured data. So it's really going to be important for all of the SaaS companies out there and just companies in general to focus and have a structured data strategy as well as their content strategy. Now, the next big thing on Google's plate, like I mentioned before, is going to be crawlability. Crawl is mentioned 21 times in this document, okay, just in 2023. Once again, it has the same impact as structured data. Whenever you look at your website, you want to look at it like this: content is number one, but crawling the website is pretty much right after. It's number two. It's weighted 50-50. If you don't have any content, obviously you're not going to rank. But if you don't have the code optimized for Google, then you're obviously not going to rank. You're missing 50% of the equation. So whenever we talk about crawling, and whenever Google adds more crawlers, different types of crawlers, once again, they're trying to systemize everything internally, and then they're going to drip that out to the broader audience, like, people that use their search engine to promote their products and services. You have to focus on ensuring that your content is done really well and that the Google crawlers are also being optimized and looked at. So for instance, Google is adding different kinds of crawlers. So they're going to be more crawlers crawling your page for different reasons. And that means that they're going to be able to catch pages that are not optimizing for crawlability, and they're going to deprioritize those pages. So it's critical for you guys to have a technical SEO. And if you guys want, you guys are free to reach out to me. I can definitely help you with that. I can give you guys a checklist of what we use internally to map out a strategy for people when it comes to technical SEO. But you have to optimize for crawlers, because crawlers is what helps give your content that needed juice and that needed visibility in order for you to actually reach your customers. So like I always say, search is now the new middleman, and you have to satisfy for content, for your user, and for search. And last but not least, and this is where you're going to get the early movers advantage. This is why in my strategy, anytime I sit down with someone, I have to assess their willingness to get on camera or to hire someone to be on camera, because Google is going to start prioritizing video SEO. We can see it here in November. That's where it kind of first pops up. But as you can see here, even as we continue to scroll up the ladder, or down the ladder, we have a new YouTube video documentation here, but we have video structured data, we have video SEO. So Google is focusing on, and will continue to focus on, the TikTokification of the internet, the short form videos, the long form videos that inspire your customers or inspire action or increase engagement. One of the KPIs that Google heavily focuses on, whether it be you're using YouTube search or Google search, is engagement. And video schema markup, video structured data is going to help you better rank for the right terms, because obviously this is a newer feature. So this is the essence of getting that early movers advantage. If you focus on video SEO early, then you will be optimizing pretty much for like the beginning of the web when it came to text SEO. Video SEO is a thing. So don't let anyone confuse you and just to say that focus on text SEO. Absolutely not. You have to mix the two. It's the reason why I'm creating content as founder of my company, because I understand where the puck is swinging and I want to get the early movers advantage. And that's exactly what I'm doing. So now that you understand what three elements Google focused on last year, let's understand what they mean. Now, here's what all of this means for you in your business. Strategical SEO will be the focus point versus content focused SEO. And yes, you'll still have to create content, but your content will do far less than it's ever done, no matter how great it is, if you do not have the strategical SEO behind it, meaning the technical SEO, meaning information or analytics that's sourced right from Google Analytics or Google Search Console. That's going to be the most important factor in 2024 and beyond, because you have to look at it from Google's lens and your user experience lens. From Google's lens, they are going to be prioritizing their search generative experience, their chat GBT like experience, right? And from the user perspective, we're looking into video search is becoming one of the hot topics, right? The TikTokification, YouTube shorts. So whenever you understand where the algorithm is going, you want to therein look at how you can then create content in a way that obviously matches what your user is And also, you want to create code that enhances your content so that it can be seen. Search generative experience is going to put an emphasis on strategical SEO, and that's where you want to be. All right, so you have two choices. You can hire us to do it, or you can do it all yourself, or you can like and subscribe. That's the third choice. Like and subscribe so you can get access to more information like this that can help you make the best SEO decisions for your company. All right. Thank you so much for joining me, and we will talk next time. Voila.